Hey, I thought I'd go over here. This is what I do. So, right now, I do this the majority of my time here. That I'm training up. That I'm training up these Vesperati here. Kind of gives you an example of what moves they have and such. So, what I've been doing is I've been training. So I'm out here in Route 6 doing one of the 7 items. So there are 7 different tiers, and I decided to make this little video helping you guys out on training. So first off, I'll explain like which one I do for each one. Like, I have a different Loomian I'll use. They're all the current max level, which is level 40, which is perfect enough. So there's 3 different locations I'll go. The majority of them are down Route 6 over here. And then the other 2 are over at Route 5 back there, and the hollow place with all the fire and ancient Loomians. Well, really 3, but you get the idea. Like this guy here. Hi, guy. So, the majority of the Pokemons Loomian. Sorry, this is the Loomian I use. His name is Badikota. It's a reference if any of you can get the reference. I rallied him. And there's a good reason that I did. So, this is his moveset. It's actually really useful for particular battles. Air Blade and Bamboozle being the 2 that I use the most. Now let me show you versus this guy who has the same moveset. Also, look at this. He's my OG. He has the same moveset, but his training is really whack. He also has an item on him. I need to take the Kabunga coffee back. So, there's 3 Loomians I'll use for these battles. I'll use Badikota here, who is Airblade and Bamboozle. And then I'll use Doomademic here, which is another one I've previously trained. And you can see where I've trained him. Like, look at that speed and ranged attack. Like, there's no way you're going to beat this guy. He does have Peck, though. I don't really use it. It's more of a kind of, yeah, I have it. I don't really use it sort of thing. This guy's more of a... He can take care of most of the Loomians. I haven't battle tested him. I'm not sure if he's battle ready. But... And then... Those are the 2 I mainly use. And then Florent is the other one I use. Now, let me go along to what I usually use. Let's go over to Route 6, and I'll go over... I won't battle each trainer, because that'll kind of mess up the training I've done. Training, by the way, like, for me, like, I kind of do it, like, 90%. Like, I'm not, like, full-hearted committed, like, clicking as fast as possible. I'm more, clicking occasionally, but still kind of just letting the game run its course. Here's Macy. She does, melee attack. She has 2, she's got 3 Loomians. Now, I run Bartok here, or Badikota, depending on which one I'm using. Anyways, I run Vesperado, the species, so I can give you an example, because yours might not be called Badikota or Bartok like mine are. They're all those 2 are references. Now, she gives, like I said, melee attack. I choose Vesperado because of the moves that have... because he's high enough level and he has enough speed, he can outspeed them, except the Fan Cub if they decide to use Quick Punch. Now, here's the thing. Quick Punch is normal, and because Vesperado is a Spirit type, he completely can avoid that. Over here, we come over to... a little ways down over here. We come to this guy whose name I've forgotten, but he gives melee defense. I just run whatever. I don't really have a big preference on him, because he's only got, like, hold on, let me pull up his information here, to kind of make sure this information is much better for you guys. Alright, he has an M-bit and and 2 Gum Pod. He'll do training. Now here's the thing. They have a brace, which his Gum Pod have brace, which by the way means they brace themselves for incoming things. I'll use Vesperado on them and use I might use Air Slash or I might use Bamboozle. Preference C is 25% doing Bamboozle, because here's the thing. When you use Bamboozle on this guy, this is an interesting move I've learned. Bamboozle, despite it not having priority, it can still bypass moves like Dodge and Brace, being very effective for these. Next up is Loomian, who I just use Vesperado purely out of that he's very he's a type effectiveness. And then we've got Charles here. Now here's the thing about Charles. He has the exact same 3 all the way through, sluggling. Now here's the issue. Vesperado won't do well against them, because even though they're the plants, they have these 2 of them have the stupid move of mystery toxins, and they also no dodge. So what I do is I run Gobademic on this guy, because thanks to a very helpful ability that Gobademics learn, Immunize, it completely counteracts mystery toxins, which is very useful. And then next here, which I just use, I use Vesperado on. And what I do is I just use Airblade in the first Loomian he sends out, and then I use Bamboozle on the next one, which is a plant type, which is super effective, and it bypasses the chance of if he uses dodge. And then Wisp Pup, I just go back to using Airblade again, because he's weak to it, and he's got no move to avoid it, except he's got Final Ruse, but that's not a priority move. Also, he's like slower. As long as you can outspeed the Wisp Up, and he doesn't. As long as you can outspeed the Wisp Up, you can stay here and grind on this guy for a while. Next is where I'm gonna go back to is back on Route 5 and Ignite Hollow. Now, here's the thing, and this will explain why I have Florent following me in a second here. So what I do here is, when I'm training, I train quite a few, and I give them away on this. This is kind of sellout right now. I give them away on this little app called Amino, which is their catchphrase is "Your interest times infinity." I am part of this small community, about around 1,000 people, of a Loomian Legacy one. Now, if you guys want to actually get these guys, make an account. Please make sure you are actually over 13, because Amino has a rule about if you're that you have to be 13 or older in order to get onto this. And here's the thing, my brother, who doesn't really play his game, would love to have some of my gifted Loomians, that's for sure, but he's not old enough. But there is the thing about getting those giveaways. I mean, I did do giveaways before, but this is the place where I just massive giveaway, like sets of 5, all sorts. I'm actually working on a mega one right now, and then I'm going to actually set up a little shop so I'll personally train something for you. So what I do is I have Florent here. Now, I'm just going to sit in the grass here. Now, here's the reason I have Florent. Babor's not a good example, but he kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. So, obviously, because he's higher level, it increases the attack, but the speed is so good, he hasn't really been trained. This guy, this Florent, is not even PvP trained. He already outspeeds Babor just by being level 40. Now, as you can see, Pine Shot here. Now, here's the thing. If you ever get Florent, or any other Loomian that's like a plant type, please have Pine Shot when you're training for HP. Babors and Rockwallas, which are where I go for HP here. Now, Babor is not too much of a deal, okay? It's the Rockwalla that's the issue, and which is why I say to run the move, like I said. The reason is because even though that these guys are common, Rockwalla has a move called has an ability called Clutch, which is essentially the Pokemon's version of Sturdy. So make sure you have Pine Shot, because it's that move that completely, even though it hits one shot, it allows you to double shoot things, essentially. So if he goes down and he happens to have Clutch, if the Rockwell happens to have Clutch, it's on 1 HP, Pine Shot isn't done yet. It will go ahead and shoot it a second time. And so then, that's almost them. But now for the energy. Now what do I do for the energy? Well, I use Vesperado, and here's the reason why. I always use Air Blade because it's a ranged attack. Now the two Loomians I attack in there are Skilava and Igneel. I don't really run into that many Igneel. I run mainly into Skilava. I run away from the other ones because I don't need them. I just mainly attack the Skilava. Here's the thing. 50% of the Skilava have a move that is very similar to Mystery Toxins. That melee attacks have a chance of activating its ability, which causes a fire problem. And by using range, so either using Gobademic or an attacker with ranged attack can do you pretty well. So here's a good example right here. Oh, never mind. I thought the Rockwalla had Clutch. I was gonna show you oh, here we go. Nope, it's not. Now Igneel, why him? He gives off 2 energy, which is kind of interesting because he's only the first evolution. And it's been since as soon as he was released that there was a tier 3 version of him, a final form, and here he is with giving you 2 energy, which kind of begs the question on what the TP is. But anyways, these things take me a long time. I have probably invested 80 plus hours of my life into making sure these guys are high quality. I'm sure, sometimes I'll run into a Duskit or an Ikuzun or a Gleaming or any other roaming that may cause issues. And that's okay. There's still a little, it's just only a few points, but then an entire little small system is just kind of thrown off, and it has to be properly retrained and everything. I don't retrain it, I just leave it. You guys can retrain it if you want, but any ones that you get from me, but yeah, that's essentially what it gives. So, hopefully this tutorial well, it's not really a tutorial, it's more of a guide. Hopefully this guide of what I do for the current update. Now the current update is the latest update being the Rally Ranch. At later dates, they may have better locations to actually go doing this training, in which I'll make better improvements on these. I'm going to soon start a second. Okay, there's the Clutch. See, that's why you run Pine Shot. Now I'm starting up a new channel pretty soon, which is going to be purely Loomian Legacy stuff, which is I'm going to put up news and information about the game, art, songs, stories. You can submit them yourself and everything, and you get a chance to be featured. I'll make sure I'll credit the proper people, so people know this person again. I like their stuff. Let's see what they have, and you'll pay attention to the video. It'll be a while before I actually make money off it, but might as well for the time being. Have fun. I'll go over stuff different PvP or different ways to actually build these guys. Not to mention strategies on which Loomian should you actually send them against, or which Loomian should you not send them against, sort of thing. So hopefully this has been enjoyable. Maybe you get something good out of it. Until next time.